G'day, this is Chris. This is Flat Tank Journey. If you were here before, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. It's been a while. It's been coming up to, I suppose, 2 years since I made regular videos, and lots of things have happened in my life. Mainly a child with a life-changing illness. Well, she's an adult, but she's still my child. And that's been a really tough challenge. And I took it pretty hard, if I'm honest. I'm a big man, overweight, and I've been an undertaker all my life, but I took it pretty hard and it struck close to home. So that's been a challenge, and that's probably the main reason I've been away for so long. The wedge tank, it went onto the side burner. It's almost complete. I haven't done anything since the last video you saw. It's got the engines done, the gearbox needs a little look at, and a new gasket made for it. It needs chains, sprockets looked at, oil, I think it is timed, and some new plugs. But I cracked the sads with it, and that's what I do. I get the sads and I push it aside. The 350 Rally, it's in the same place. It needs a little bit of work on the gearbox and getting the gear change shifter to work, and then it needs timed and try to start it. But I cracked the sads with it too, and I put it in the too hard basket. And that's kind of what I do. But it is what it is. The other thing that happened to me was I cut my fingers off. Well, not quite off, but nearly. So about 10 months ago, a drop saw and I had an argument, and I took the tops off the middle two. This one still works, but not well. And I had plastic surgery and a lot of stitches and a lot of discomfort. And it's still a bit whingy and I grizzle about it a bit. But I've still got all my fingers and I can still move. So it's been good. In the meantime, I've done a lot of woodwork, and that's been really healthy for me, for my mental health. It's helped me a lot. And got a few mates and we mess around with a bit of wood. And wood can be all consuming. Recently though, it occurred to me that I need to get back into the bikes, and I need to finish the Rally and the wedge tank. And of course, I've got a 1000cc V-twin special, and it's still in my back shed. And yes, it still needs finished to my mate who harps about it, but I haven't got to it either. What I do have is a round tank. Now, I haven't just bought it. This isn't new to me. This is a bike that I've had for 2.5 years, maybe. I got it with and if you followed the wedge tank series, I had one, and then I bought another one and a job load of parts. I didn't show you at the time, but included in that other one and the job load of parts was a round tank and another job load of parts to go with the round tank. So to entertain myself, I decided I would crack on and have a little look at the round tank and play with it a little bit while I re-motivate myself to get back into it. And that's about it. Life hasn't been easy. I've been in some unhappy places, but let's move on and find a new way forward. Why don't we have a look at this little round tank and see what you think? Right, enough of being reflective. And maybe I'll drift back to reflections on what I've been doing as we go forward. I always reckon the best part about a project bike is what you get with it. If you just get what's over there on the workbench, it's never enough, and you're a long way short, and you're short all the expensive bits, and it's a bugger of a job, and boy do I know that the hard way. So here's kind of what I got that was identified to me as round tank specific. 25, I believe the round tank is. And there's a box of junk here that I've collected over a period of time. But this collection's actually been pretty good to me, so I'm happy about it. When I got the wedge tank engine built, the guy doing it honed and identified a barrel for me that was suitable for the round tank. And I've got a piston that will be okay. I need rings, and I'll possibly get some new ones made. So I don't consider that's a big problem. So we have a barrel, it's in good nick, couple little ratty fins, but not the end of the world. And I think I can live with it. That's a good result. While I was hunting through here, getting ready to talk to you, I did find I have a spark plug adapter, brass thing, whatever you want to call it. I never know what they're called. And it'll be okay. It's very ratty and could stand to go in the lathe. I also have the blank off plug for the exhaust. So that's a good result. Not unhappy about that. I haven't got a primer cup or a blanking plug for the barrel. And of course, I always think the spark plug goes into what I call the combustion chamber side, and it goes in like that. And I've even got a spark plug, but the spark plug's pretty ratty, and I don't think you'd run it. So win-win, win-win. To go with the barrel, I identified, I think a while ago, valves. Yep, here are my valves. So there's valves that are, I believe, really usable. And I think Les actually put them aside for me with springs, with the, whatever they're called, retainer clips maybe they're called. Have a little look at that. So these come with, they should have a pin in them or a wedge, and they feel worn in there. At the same time, I believe somewhere in my collection of junk here, I have a couple of new old stock valve guides. Maybe they'll appear out of the woodwork as I go further forward. But I have valves, I have springs, I have retainers, and we could make the wedges or convert them, put them in the lathe, cut a groove and convert them to collets. And maybe that's a good thing to do. So valves, two of, look okay. There is a third valve that looks okay too, and is probably a better fit, but still feels a bit loose. So valve guides need to be done. I've got another spring, another couple of retainers, and I'm going to put all those in there. That was the identified as the box of good shit, pardon the expression, good stuff that would be needed for the engine, and this engine parts in there. We'll have a look at those in a minute, but they're pretty cool. So barrel, piston, valves, springs, and retainers. All in all, not a bad outcome. And that looks pretty good, I reckon. And all right, yes, it needs a solid cleanup. And Les has written 64 mil on the outside. So that's okay. Let's move on. We might jump straight over to the cases. Now, these cases were in the frame when I got it. And they've been, I'd say, aqua blasted, and they have all the timing gears in them. They have the tappets, I think they're called, sitting on them and in. There's no decompression lever, and there never is, but we have the fittings and they're all in good nick, and it has a complete set of gears in it, and it has a breather, and it has the standoff, one of them, for the chain guard, for the primary cover, and they look really good. They're in good nick, and they're the right. Their B19260 is, I believe, the correct year, and they're in good nick. And they've got all new nuts and bolts in them and oil pump fittings, and I'm pretty happy about that. So that was a good outcome. I have more cush drives at home. I'm in my other workshop at the moment, but I have a newish cush drive, no spring, but I do have at least 2 at home, maybe 3. Gearbox. Now, this is incredibly clean. It's got all new fasteners in it because the gent who sold me all this, his friend who passed away was reproducing all of the fasteners, including the gear change identifiers and a whole range of bits and bobs. I actually believe this gearbox to be really good. I've had a look inside and it looks fine. It's got a clutch on it with fresh plates in it by the look of it. But we'll get more to that when we start ripping it apart and have a look at it. But I'm pretty happy with that. That's a good outcome. I have got another gear change indicator that I believe to be original, but I think the one on it's so good, I wouldn't bother. So the cases have turned out good, and I should have said I've got a conrod and the associated bearings and gubbins. I have the wrong size bearings. I believe I have 8mm roller bearings and I need 5/16. The engine builder has put a little note here, plus 325 or something like that. I can't quite read his scribble, but I don't think it's a big issue. The conrod can be ground or built up and we could put oversized bearings in it and something could happen. So I'm not unhappy about it. I don't know about it and I don't know how it works and I don't know what to do about it. And I have no idea, but I'm going to learn and I'm going to try and do this and make it happen. I've got a big end that is in really, really, really good nick and I'm really happy with it. And I've got the bearings, but it was just that the roller bearings were not the right size to go into the conrod. So that was the stumbling block on putting a crank together. Oh, and I've got flywheels. I've got flywheels to go with it. So that was all selected before. Next bit, carburetors. So I've got 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. And of course, none of them were complete. So I ratted through the 3 of them to put together what I believe to be a relatively complete one. And I mean complete, you know, all the little gubbins inside. And I forget exactly, but, you know, it's not simple inside the old round tank carby. So I was happy to have 3. And I think I got 5 carburetors with the wedge and the square. All parts thereof. But, you know, this one's got nothing inside it and it's manky on the top of the bowl and there's a lot of fittings that are just no good. This one, the tickler's there. It's got a nice intake on it, but there's nothing inside. So, you know, you sort of get what you get with them and there's nothing you can do about it. So I believe I have a carburetor. So engine, carby, gearbox. Loosely, let's be fair about it. The other good thing that was in the box was the oil pump. And it's really clean. Somebody's, again, gone to some trouble to assemble an oil pump in its entirety. Is the knob on the top correct? I don't know. It looks too small for my money. I would have said it should be bigger. And I have the oil pump off a 27. That's a 27 oil pump because it just has the elbow. Prior to that, they had one with a sight feed on it. The difference is that on the 27, they had the mechanical, it all drip fed down into the oil sight feed bowl on the side of the crankcase, and you could see the oil dripping through there and regulate its flow from there. Here, you're regulating its flow from up on the tank, and we'll have a look at that in a minute, and you can see it through the oil sight feed bowl. So I'm very happy with it. The spring in it is particularly strong. I believe it's correct and almost complete. Pretty happy. Have got a spare and have got another spare if I needed it. This is one I was putting together out of junk for some years while I collected it. And it takes years to put these together if you don't find them complete. And this one's not complete. And he's got a little bend in him. But anyway, enough of that. What else is here? I've got a brand new, oh, well, not brand new, I've got a front hub. And the front hub is actually in quite good condition. It's got the oiler on it. It's got bearings in it and it feels good. And I'm going to use that when I get the wheels done and get a result out of the wheels. I don't know what to do about them, but we'll get to that in a minute. Another clutch dome, a brake pedal that is different to the one that's on the bike. So I'm not sure which one's which or what this one's from, but as a brake pedal assembly, it looks to have been recast, but I might be wrong. Couple of kickstart springs and the casings that go around them. They look, one is broken and one looks okay. They can be bought. These are a bit, the covers are a bit manky, but you know, that could be cleaned, painted, nickel plated if you want to give up one of your kidneys, and that'd be all right. And this one is broken. I actually think I have a spare one at home anyway. Bags of bits and pieces, they're gearbox bolts, a really clean valve decompressor mount. Can't get my mouth to work. Some bolts in bags, oil fittings, nuts, more nuts that are new made, if you like, and a few other bits and pieces. Got a brake lever and a gear change lever that is one I pulled off the wedge tank, but it's been broken at the bottom because they all broke at the bottom. All right, let's go and have a look at the bike while the rain tumbles down, and we'll go from there. So it's the next day, and it rained so heavily as I tried to take the footage yesterday that I had to give up. Here's the bike. It's not a bad little unit, and you know, I've progressed a little bit since yesterday. I did a bit of work. Front end, what's good, what's bad? The front wheel shot to pieces. The rim is absolutely rusted through. I can buy rims here in Australia, so it's not a big issue. The rims are not cheap, they're reproductions, but I'm led to believe they're very good quality. So at least there is someone making them, and I'm relieved about that. The front guard has had some work, and somebody's bogged up some holes, and it looks like there's some extra holes, and it could be a hair short. A couple of holes on the top and a little bit more bog, but overall, you know, the front guard's solid, and I don't feel bad about it. A few more bog marks down there, not sure what they are. Got the front stand, not that I think I'd ever use it. Got stays, would imagine the stays are repops. They're very, very nicely done. All the fittings are in there, so that's really good. Front end looks straight enough, and might have new arms on the top. The bottoms may be new as well, certainly got new hardware to it. Spring, possibly new, possibly reproduction, don't know. Top mount, maybe. Still, it's there, the nuts, the bolts, the hardware's there. You can see I've knocked a piece of the left-hand side grip off, which actually looks like it's the throttle, but I can't get the rest of it off. It's putting up a bit of a fight. It's got the top nut there, and that's a reproduction. Again, all the hardware's there. There's a bike pump on it. I don't imagine that it's correct, but it is made in England. It has a little logo on it, and it looks the part, certainly. The tank. I know the tank is a reproduction. The guy who sold me the bike was a Boilermaker by trade, and he made the tank. It has original ends and original fittings, and he made the bit in the middle. So at least the tank's good. He suggested it does need a liner kit to just seal it up, and that'd be good. The seat. Now, the seat frame is in good condition. The pan, well, not so much. Could Daryl from Daz's Seat Repairs, Daryl Colt, could he fix it? Absolutely. Just a matter of time and money. And, you know, I suppose if you've got enough time, you can find enough money. The seat itself looks to be in good condition, looks to have a matching set of springs, and, you know, I think it'd be all right. The frame looks to be good. We got a gearbox, or another gearbox, and another clutch, and footrests, and a brake lever, but we'll get to that on the other side. Now, the rear guard, The rear guard, it's got a bit of surface rust on it, and it didn't have that when I got the bike. It's a bit tired in places. It's got lots of marks from brazing, where somebody has brazed up holes, cracks maybe, dents, and a whole other range of things. A split maybe. Somebody has spent an inordinate amount of time repairing that guard. Now, I can get reproduction guards, really, really good ones, from a guy who lives in my local area, and he actually has a pair of guards there. I'm just a bit cheap to pay for them. They're very nice quality, and in reality they're cheap, but I have genuine guards and I think I'll go to the trouble of trying to paint them. The obligatory pack rack is on the bike, and if you watch any of my videos and go back and watch them, you know I hate pack racks, but this is integral to mounting the guard and making it work as one unit. So it's got to stay there. The sprocket. Now these are hard to get, and it looks to be in good nick. It doesn't need rebanded, and it's on with fresh bolts. Hub looks clean, and the rear rim actually looks to be in pretty good condition. All the spokes are there. It looks basically round, and I feel okay about it. Let's have a look at the other side of the bike. Right-hand side of the bike. So it's got a number plate mount, a little tail light that I think I have a glass for, so we'll wait and see. It's got a stand clip, saves me 60 or 70 euros. You can see more repairs around here where brazing marks or brass is melted in. Again, quite extensive work done on. The brake rim looks good, and there's an awful lot of fittings attached to the frame. The brake gubbins that I have no idea how works is there, and it needs the brake block, and they can be bought from, I think, the Vintage Motorcycle Club. So we'll wait and see. There's an adjuster rod that may or may not be genuine, hard to say. A nice looking brake pedal that appears to be genuine with a spring. Gearbox looks complete-ish. Perhaps the wrong bolt holding the clutch arm, certainly, but other than that, doesn't look bad. Maybe a little bit broken out of the top of the gearbox where the Kickstarter spring goes. Need to have a look at that. It's got an intact gear change lever, which is a relief. Has a reproduction knob on it, but it's intact. Needs nickel plated, sadly, and I'll probably weaken and do that. Tank this side. Filler necks are in place, no caps. But maybe that'll be one of my early projects. Got no idea about caps. Tank straps look good. There's a carbide canister to go with it, and that was with it when I got it, and a couple of other bits and pieces as well. Back to the front, stays, stand, guard, plenty of bog, but again, that could be an early job for me. Weird little strange hole, just in there, two strange holes. Don't know what they're for or why they're there, but I've just seen them. And there you have it. So that's the bike. What do you all think of it? Oh, I should have said, here's the primary chain cover. Again, somebody's done an extensive amount of work to it. Pretty good. They're hard to come by, and maybe they're a couple of €100. You can buy them, and they can be made here in Colac in Victoria, Australia too. I've got a friend who makes them and does really, really, really good work. But there it is. Coffee time. So that was the bike, and I'm not unhappy with it. And even after close inspections, I still feel okay about it. I suppose it's a relatively complete project, and since yesterday, when you looked at the parts that were laying here on the bench, I've had a bit of a consolidation and got a few things together. So out of my collection, didn't come with the bike, I've found myself a nice headlamp. Now that's relatively complete, and the nickel's not bad, and it's probably the best one I've got. It's a 4.5 or 5 inch. Also have the big mother of headlights as well. It's probably a 6 inch. I think the 6 inch is possibly over the top, and I'm better off with the smaller one, but we'll see what comes of it in due course. Either way, I've offered the small one up to the bike and it looks good. I grabbed out my oil pump and it fits fine on the bike too. And I've got some, I think it's 2 BSA threaded bolts that will hold those on. Spanners and screwdrivers in the rough. I got the piston and a gudgeon pin, and I thought I had the brass plugs for the end of it, but I don't appear to have them. So I'll have to either make some or buy some. It's a tiny, tiny bit of movement, tiny. So is it any good? I think it's going to be fine for me. I went to the bearing supply place this morning and bought some 5/16 by 7/16 rollers for the conrod, bottom of the conrod, the big end. I tried the bearings I had in it, and they were a tiny bit worn, and they vary by about 1/10 to 1/10.5 of a millimetre. Sorry to be using metric and imperial, but about 0.1 to 0.15 variance in the size of the bearing. So you could probably use them, but for the sake of it, I think I'll order a new set. So I've ordered new. I've got the crank put together. Wasn't difficult, it's loosely bolted. I've got a decent big end. I think the big end is actually new old stock, or if not, it's very, very close to it. The flywheels are the ones that the engine builder that I have used picked out for me, and they look pretty good. So I'm pretty happy with those. I've got to find woodruff keys for both of them, but I don't think that's a big issue. So I will attempt to balance the crank myself. So that'll be an interesting episode when we get to it. Put that aside. I have the gearbox here for me to have a little look at. I'm going to flip the outside cover off and have a look inside and put a gasket back on the outside cover, and then possibly use this gearbox on the wedge tank, and then use the wedge tank gearbox on this, or use the gearbox that's in the 25 for it. This came out of a wedge tank, so I'm going to have a look at this, see what it's like, and see how good it is. So we'll have a look at that in due course. And of course, then the elephant in the room is the engine. So I put it together because I could, not because I should. Underneath the timing gear cover are all the timing gears, installed correctly with copper grease, and they're actually mint. They look really, really good. I got the magneto that came with the bike. Don't think I showed you that yesterday. Lucas Maggie, it's missing the pickup connector, but other than that, looks really good. I'm sure it needs a rebuild. Don't stress, we'll get to that in due course. Also found the valve lifting mechanism that inherently is always missing on these damn things. Why? I don't know why it's always missing, but it is always missing. And it's possibly slightly bent, but we can straighten that up. I've got 2 of the 4 nuts to hold the barrel on, and I figure the engine's better off in 1 chunk than in 15 chunks. I need to work out what the hole is at the, well, it's the back of the motor. Now, it's obviously an oil pipe feed or an oil feed into the timing gears. I just don't appear to have the fitting, which is really weird because I've got about 4 or 5 sets of crankcases. So I must hunt a bit harder and see what I've got. Other than that, I think that's about it. I hopefully have a series of interesting videos coming up. I don't guarantee I'll do a video every week. and you know, just be patient. These things look easy when you're watching content 3 or 4 times a week, like I watch some creators. For me, that was just too much. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, send me a message, say g'day. If you haven't, well, just don't watch. I don't really care. It's all good. If you've got anything really constructive to say or anything great, let me know about it. And in the meantime, cheers. Have a good weekend.